What's happening, guys? Chris VA Travels. Yep, I'm still in Scotland and about to visit Fort George. Real quick, there are the times and the hours that they're open. And yeah, this is the mightiest fort in all of Britain and perhaps Europe. It was built shortly after that last Jacobite Rising, 1746. Yeah, gonna go in and take the tour. And I believe this is the parking lot. There's a road that goes ahead, but I haven't seen any cars go up that way. So I parked here, and hopefully this is going to take me to the entrance. All right, I already see a cannon right there. A little turret right there. Scottish flag blowing in the wind. And to let you know, I'm just outside of Inverness, about 10 miles, I believe, although it took about a half an hour to drive here. And it looks like a little maze to get you in. Big stone wall right here, brick one over there. Okay, all right, so it looks like this is taking us in there. Main gate right here, it looks like, and that's a serious door. Whew, good to get out of this wind. The sign over there says audio guide, so it's £11 for a ticket. So you go inside the Ravelin guardhouse to purchase your ticket, $17.53. All right, so I've got my ticket, and this actually is going to be the main gate, and there are 18 stops. They gave me a map. Oh, there's a guard right there. And then also I'll be taking the audio tour. So, and this is actually stop number 1. Pretty serious fort. Several bastions. Probably barracks right there. And this is, looks like where we're at right now. All right, so there's a cafe inside. We're gonna see the Grand Magazine, the chapel, of course, barracks and the casemate. Cool. All right, stop number 2 is going to be up here. And this is kind of an isolated area. It's got its own defenses with its own guardhouse. So this deserted corner up here, it's called Ravelin's Corner, and named originally after Prince Edward's, George II III's second grandson. And you've got 8 of these 12-pound guns in position. All right, neat stop off. My feet are already starting to get wet, so I'm gonna go back down here. And stop number 3 would be the bridge up here. About to cross the Principal Bridge, the main approach to the fort, and originally had 2 drawbridges. Yeah, and these guns are pointed at the bridge. This little door down here is called a sluice, and it was originally to let water in. So I guess you would have had kind of a moat going on down here. Pretty interesting. All right, so there's a British seal right there. All right. Similar door to the last one. You've got brick up here. Principal gate, 1753, 1756, the main entrance into the fort. The royal arms and the pediment over the gateway are quarterly, with England impaling Scotland in the first quarter, France in the second, Ireland in the third, Hanover in the fourth. It is ironic that the arms of Scotland are wrong. Well, Wow, 2 doors. And check that latch out. I don't know what that is.
Jacobite Wars while James Stewart and then his grandson Bonnie Prince Charlie. Bonnie Prince Charlie was defeated finally in the Battle of Culloden on the 16th of April 1746. That's just 8 miles from here.
Let me drop into the officer's guard room. A little bit warmer in here. Okay, so this just shows you where everything's at. There's the soldier's prayer up there. And we've got a Lego model over here. And yeah, this is a very large fort. Little cannons up front. Oh, so there's a regimental museum of the Queen's Ode Highlanders. Highlander Museum. I might make a separate video on that just depending on how big it is. Okay, pretty cool. Check out the door. Old desk right here. The redcoats. Oh, right across the way. The soldier's guardhouse.
Constructing the outer defences, first of all the glacis. Where the car park is, as you walked into the fort, you would have seen the land start to rise up. That's the outer defences.
All these markings, I wonder what those are.
Building the frontal defences. We did this by digging the ditch. We came across the ditch and crossed the bridge. Simply dug the ditch down and piled the dirt up on each side. Part of that dirt creating this one wall.
He's got his kilt on. 1886. All the bunks over here. You can dress up if you want. Check out this little stove. You can put on a red coat and a kilt.
The problem was they were battling their way through the bedrock and they got within 2 feet above sea level and they simply gave in. They just couldn't get it any further. So
all right, made it inside. 42-acre fort. And I don't remember how big Fort Monroe is in the United States, but this might have it beat. They say you could fit 6.5 Edinburgh castles in here. And to the left, this is the first house that was built inside the fort, the governor's house. And to the right is where the second and third in charge were stationed. It's now the Highlander Museum. I'm definitely going to be going in there. And the last building to be built at the very end, the chapel. And they said that you can, when you walk the wall, look out over the water, that there's a good chance that you might see a dolphin or a minke whale, possibly some seals. Here's the front. And this fort has never been used. It's never, cannons have never been fired in anger. Thankfully, by the time it was completed, the Jacobite Rising had died out. And as a matter of fact, after it was completed, many Jacobites ended up joining the British military and being stationed here. One other interesting side note is that Napoleon was supposed to be taken here, but apparently it was too harsh, so they took him to the St. Helena Island. Oh, all right, so let me get back on track. And these numbers are kind of all over the place. So I'm just gonna kind of bounce around and just, whoops, knock stuff out as I get to it. A lot of seagulls out flying around. Let me go on to the governor's house first. Check that out. Hopefully it's open. Yeah, you're not going to be able to go inside the governor's house. But yeah, fine stone building, a Georgian stone building. Pretty neat. Yeah, big old stone pediment up there. Pretty wild. And there's probably a window, I bet, at one time. Stone coins on the sides, and pretty neat, kind of maybe brick stacked in between the stones. And what is it, a horn in the window? But yeah, first building built inside the fort. Up here it says the post room, and no public access going back there. These casemates are going to be locked up. I believe on the other side the casemates are going to be open. Oh, and the Black Watch is still stationed here. Oh, I wonder if there's anything to see inside. No, it's just there's a drum on the ground. Oh, yeah, it's cold just with this wind blowing. Officer's mess. Yeah, see, the Black Watch, 3rd Battalion. Always like looking at these water drains. Yeah, a lot of barracks. Oh, and 30,000 troops trained here during World War II in preparation for D-Day. Yeah, so this place would have been bustling. And then back here you've got the bathrooms to the right and the Fort George Cafe down this way. Barrack Block North. Yeah. And the 2 barrack blocks enclosing the barrack block provided accommodation for officers and men, 2 every battalion, 1,600 men. Oh, and these north barrack blocks were the first to be built. Held 2 infantry battalions of 1,600 men. And I'm gonna sneak into the gentleman's room. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap around these barracks, go over and take a look at some of these casemates, and maybe drop into that Highlander museum. And as always, yeah, I apologize for the wind noise. I probably should have brought my bigger dead cat to protect the microphone. It was just another thing to have to lug over here with all the luggage I had to bring. All right, so they've got tours going on. What's in here? Nothing, I guess. You can just sit and eat, or that's just a smoking area. Over here it says Quartermaster's Department. And let me go on up, and there's another water drain right there. Yeah. So let me go on up, take a look at these casemates, and then I'll drop into that Highlander Museum. Right here is the parade, and they say you can fit Edinburgh Castle on this ground right here. The North Sullyport, if things ever went down, this is where the soldiers, they would leave their barracks and stationed up inside these casemates. Again, another serious door. And it says these things have been untouched since they were built. I saw some people go in down here, so I know you can go in. I think it's going to be right up here. I'm seeing signs. Bars on the windows. And this says exhibition. Duke of Cumberland. That's the namesake of Cumberland County in Virginia. And he didn't play around. They called him the Butcher. Yeah, he showed no mercy. Down here, some prisoners being executed. It says thousands of Jacobites were hunted down, dozens were executed, while hundreds more died in prisons. And some were toiled on American Caribbean plantations. Wow. And after Culloden, they began the clearances, and it was the end of the way of life for the Highlanders. They outlawed kilts. They used their land for sheep herding. So a lot of Highlanders, they had to move to the shore, move to the ports to find work. Many fled to the Americas, or North America, I should say. Many went to Australia. There's a lot of information back here. Soldiers on parade right here, 1895. Stenciled on the wall here is the Queen's Own Cameron Highlanders. All right, pretty good information on how the fort was built. It was designed by a William Skinner. And this is Camp Cinema back here. Film about the Black Watch. Well, there you go.
Fort George's garrison. In 2007, the infantry soldiers of the Black Watch, the 3rd Battalion of the Royal Regiment of Scotland, set up home here at Fort George. You will see them around the barracks and has been used since the regiment's first days, when it patrolled the highways of Scotland for 13 years.
Again, really informative. The Black Watch has been around for 300 years, and it has served the crown in every military engagement. So more information on Fort George. Another film going back here.
In 1817, Fort George, along with all the other Highland forts, was nearly shut down by a cost-conscious government, but it survived to be a depot for various Highland regiments. In 1859, a sudden fear of war with France gave the fort a new importance as a position for coastal artillery.
As you would guess, it went through the history of the fort and all the changes that I went through over the centuries. "54 of these casemated barrack rooms, and they were blast-proof accommodations, and they were temporary accommodations in case of a siege. Like I say, this is where they came when things went down. Wow, yeah, big vaulted ceiling, and a little fireplace down there. But wow, not too comfortable of a place to be staying. Let me see what this sign says. I was gonna say these are arrow slits, but big old wooden door right here. All right, what does this say? And these housed up to 40 soldiers. And these are the Seaforth Highlanders in the casemate in 1916. Well, they seem to be in good spirits, but pretty low door right here. But yeah, this does look like it's pretty strong. But same thing over here, yeah, just a little fireplace back there. Wow, 40 soldiers though crammed up in here. Probably had to worry about disease and whatnot as well. Yeah, it's kind of neat little brick in between the stone. But yeah, the cafe is right behind the museum, so I think I'm gonna walk up on the wall, go over, check out the museum, and grab something to eat. And you know, it's gonna be windy up here. Maybe we'll be lucky and see a minke whale. Check this tree out. Cool. Alright, well, she's looking at something. Oh yeah, so there's a little bit up here. Gun over there. Looks like it might be a Rodman. I don't know. I can't really tell from this far away. Here we are, ramparts. Oh, is that a mortar? What a great view. Let me walk over and see what that sign says. Duke of Cumberland's Bastion. And yeah, King George II's brother, so you know he had a dog in the fight. It was remodeled in 1860 as a coastal defense battery. Okay. Yeah. Drawbridge over there. Wow. Hello. Oh, so I didn't know this. The Sutherland Highlanders were defending New Orleans during the Battle of 1812. There he is, Andrew Jackson right there. Yeah, and there's a great museum on the Sutherland Highlanders over at Stirling Castle. Yeah, just, alright. Another big old mortar right there. Yeah, this fort was definitely well defended. So I guess, yeah, they would have rotating guns, it looks like. And I'm wondering what this is. Anyway, okay, let me go look at this. This isn't a Rodman. But, wow. I think it'd be hard to, I know the wind noise, sorry. Oh, a little beach down there. Yeah, you'd have to have a real good eye to spot a dolphin. Wow, yeah. Birds have been having fun with this. Yeah. Oh, that takes you down underneath. All right. Like I say, bottlenose dolphins. HMS Hood, Royal Navy's last battle cruiser. And here it is, anchored in the Moray Firth, 1940. It ended up being sunk a year later by the Bismarck. Wow, old Zeppelin. All right. Okay, let me go on back down. Like I say, head over to the museum. Clothing stores, tailor shop, accommodation stores. Huh. All right, let me check out the museum. L6 Wombat. developed in 1950. Just finished up in the museum, headed to the cafe, and wow, that was really informative. Britain has been involved in a lot of conflicts. It went on forever. Borneo, the Far East, India, and yeah, great museum. I didn't want to film, I didn't want to get too carried away. It was really crowded in there, and plus I just kind of wanted to soak it in. And nestled back here, the Fort George Cafe. So I'm gonna grab something to eat and catch some warmth. All right, grabbed a wee latte, as they would say. What is this? Workshop 1762. The yard house workshops were carpenters, blacksmiths, and wheelwrights. All right, and we've got a little bit of drizzle coming down. Typical Scotland day. Big bullseye window up there, several going across the bottom. So the garrison chapel is to the right, and historic barrack rooms are this way. Also the Grand Magazine. Yeah, I need to check that out. Good shot of the front of this barrack building. But all right, so the South Barrack Block. And it's pretty much the same thing. Housed 2 infantry battalions, 1,600 men. Ordnance store over here. And obviously they stored arms and military equipment. It was adapted into a hospital in the late 18th century. Used to be a door right there, obviously. And those seagulls really echo. All right, another mortar over there. Provision storehouse and bakery. Cool. Obviously this is the chapel. Over here are the stables. And to hang out for the seagulls. Alright, so it looks like we have a well over here. Oh. Yep. Let me take a walk around the chapel before I go up on the ramparts. Chapel 1763 to 67, the final structure within the fort. Regimental Chapel of the Seaforth Highlanders and the Queen's Own Highlanders, Seaforth and Camerons. Alright, bell over here. HMS Excalibur. What's it come off of? Good shot right here. In memory of those who lost their lives since 1954. 1st Battalion, the Black Watch. They don't want you to go upstairs. Alright guys, keep your eyes out for bottlenose dolphins. Like I say, maybe some seals. Oh, okay. Looks good from this angle. And we'll get a good view of it, of course, from up there. And alright, I see a door open on the other side, so it looks like you can go in there. I don't know if those are more casemates or what. Oh wow, a lot of guns up here. Serious battery going on. And this is the Duke of Marlborough. It looks like, named after. Oh yeah, you can really smell the salt water. I couldn't smell it as strong when I was on the other end. Oh, alright, they've got the big one right there. Let's see what this says. Yeah, but yeah, nobody's getting through, as you can see, with all these guns lined up. Alright. And there's a sudden drop, so I'm gonna watch myself on this wet grass. And they're not kidding, that is a straight drop off. And yeah, like I say, I'm gonna have to make my way down there. Alright, so point battery right here. This battery with its flanking demi-bastions, okay, commands the C channel. Beneath is a small powder, it's a powder magazine, but encasements for 4 32-pounder guns. Dang. As cold as that water is, you'd think there'd be some orcas swimming around out there. Prince Frederick William's demi-bastion. Oh, named after King George II's youngest grandson. I've never heard of a demi-bastion. Oh, it looks like a good vantage point right there. Oh, colliding right here. Yeah, so we've got the Moray Firth out there. Yeah, we're in the land of firths and lochs and glens. Alright. It would be super cool just to see just one dolphin or something out there. Saw dolphins. There you go. View from up top on the other side. Nice looking stone chapel. What? Celebrating scaffolding. Alright, tubular steel was widely adopted in the 1900s. Wow, never seen a plaque dedicated to scaffolding. Yeah, definitely some wonderful landscapes out here. A 1,000 barrels. Almost looks like volcanic rock. And what is this back here? Underneath this is a Mesolithic shell midden, a large dump of remains left by some of the first people to have lived on the coastline. Douglas Castle back here, used by Walter Scott as the inspiration for his novel Castle Dangerous. Over here we've got the Orkney Venus, or the Westrae Wife, and it was unearthed in 2009. It's the earliest known representation of a human form ever found in Scotland. Glasgow up here, 1947. Yeah, pretty small game, must be on industry down there. And then down here, yeah, Edinburgh's Newtown. I was there. Visited the Georgian house. And all right, I think that's it right there. Yeah, the Georgian house. Yeah, because that park was right across the street. Yeah, that's a pretty good site to check out. Okay, well, some neat information in there. I'm kind of rusty on my Roman numerals, but is that 1757? I think so. The D must stand for 500. Yeah, just slate tiles on this thing. All right, I might have seen everything. Let me check the map again. Walking back on the opposite side. Soldiers' latrines. 2004. Oh, you can't open that. Oh. Huh. And I believe that's going to be another kind of little restaurant store over there that looks like it's opening up, which is kind of odd. It's about 1:30 right now, but stick my head in here. Okay, there's nothing of importance back there. Oh, the wind actually has died down. What does this say over here? Officers? I think it says officers' latrines. I'm sure that's going to be closed, but I'll see if I can open the door. I'm sure this is... Huh. I gave it a try. Obviously there was something right there. Yeah, these doors are saying military personnel only. They've got their window open, so I think these are still active barracks, maybe for that Black Watch. Oh, big old entrance right here. And what is this saying? Historic barrack rooms. Oh, can we go in here? The door's open. Oh, I'm glad I did come this way then. Yeah, I knew that we'd have to be going into some barracks at some point. So this is supposed to be 1792 and to accommodate 4 soldiers. You'll see 4 beds, of course. GR, Latin for King George. Oh wow, nursing her baby. And this is supposed to be from 1915, barracks room. Huh. Campbell with a carpet Cali. And here are these Cheviot sheep that displaced a large number of Highlanders. Yeah, you see these things all over the place out here. A woman with her child at a military encampment, 1793. All right, well, neat. Grand Magazine across the way. All right, well, I'm totally glad I came down this way. Oh, wow. This was the most dangerous area of the fort. And this is the Grand Magazine over here. Wow, stored 2,500 powder barrels in here. And the big powder magazine, okay. A shifting room. Boy. You don't want to cause an explosion in here. Grenadier cap, 97th Regiment. Pretty cool. You've got the old British phone booths down there. But I've seen several of those now. Just a fire shed right here. Yeah, nothing, whatever that is. Assault Pioneer store, baggage store. HQ company. Yeah, I've come full circle, wrapped around past the governor's house. So I think I'm getting out of here. Yeah, Fort George, good find. Highlight was probably the Highlander Museum. Got to see some dolphins. So yeah, I'm gonna head back to Inverness, and I'll see you guys on the next one.